Hey everyone, Jacob from concealedcarry.com. I want to talk a little bit more about the live fire drill card system. This is a system that we have worked together with the designer, with the inventor, with the creator of this product, and we really have found huge value in this. It's interesting because what we found is it's difficult to improve something if you don't measure it, right? If you want to see improvement in your shooting, you need to measure your shooting. You need to have a sense for how it's going. And that can be difficult if you never write anything down, if you're not using any sort of system. And certainly, you know, there's programs out there like with Mantis X or LASR with your dry fire training. It's going to give you some feedback and you're going to have some ideas. But if you're not saving that data, if you're not writing it down, then you don't know if you're improving. And there's a lot of shooting I'm hoping you're doing where you're not using LASR or you're not using the Mantis X. And so it's just not scalable in terms of measuring all of your performance. And so when we first heard about this product, we were pretty impressed and we liked the idea. And so what essentially is a book, a training log that comes with a bunch of information here and kind of give you some idea. The core, I think, kind of the central key component here are what we call the drill cards. And there are 30 different drills in here, and each drill has these cards, and the card has on the back the information on how to set up the drill. So as you can see, it's really easy to read. It's very clear. It gives you the idea of what ammo you need to, or how many rounds you need to fire, what kind of targets to use, at what distances you're going to do the drill. It shows you stage by stage how to run the drill, what kind of grip to use, how many rounds to shoot, everything. It's really descriptive, very easy to read. Truly, the guy who designed these, he's a product engineer, and it shows. These are extraordinarily easy to understand, very appealing, and it just makes it a much more enjoyable experience. On the front of the card is a place where you're essentially going to keep track of what you're doing. You're going to write down the date you ran the drill, your score or your time, whatever applicable thing, and this is going to allow you over time to see if you're improving or not. And that's huge. You know, what we're hearing from a lot of our students is they go to the range, they train, but are they really getting a lot out of their training? They feel like they don't have a plan. They show up and they're like, I guess I'm going to set up some targets, I'm going to shoot at them, and then I'm going to go home, and hopefully I'm more prepared than I was before. Are you more prepared? Probably. You know, without any plan at all, just by putting some shots down range, you're probably more prepared than you were before. But this system allows our students to essentially go to the range with a plan, right? And it's expensive to always have an instructor with you every time you go shoot. It's just not scalable or affordable, and certainly not convenient. So having this book allows you to say, hey, there's a skill I want to focus on, or a certain number of skills I want to focus on, and so I'm going to pick the drills that support that skill, which is all indicated here, easy to understand, and I'm going to go run those drills. And this is not only going to make you feel more prepared, but it's also going to help you build those skills faster and cheaper, because it's going to cost less ammo to arrive at a certain skill level, right? Because you're running the drills that support that skill. So it's really well designed in that regard. Also, they have in here a bunch of blank training log cards. And this allows you to just log anything you might be doing or take any notes that you might need to take while you're at the range and shooting. This is really effective because certainly, you know, if you're running specific drills, hey, there's a drill card for that, write it down. But there might be drills you like to run that we don't have a drill card for in here. Or there might be things you like to do that just aren't drills at all that you want to be able to indicate and write down. Keep track of everything. This is going to allow you to improve. This is going to allow you to measure how you're doing. And I'll add, you know, as a side note, your attorney will probably thank you, because if you're ever in a courtroom and you have to defend yourself against charges of recklessness or negligence, having this log that shows all the training you've been doing is going to be huge. It's going to be very valuable. So I think you'll find a lot of value in that. Also in here is something kind of cool. A clever idea that I don't know if I ever would have thought of this, but they have these things called loadout cards. And the idea is that I want to keep track every time I train of my current configuration, meaning what gun am I using, what holster am I using, all that kind of stuff. And by that's considered a loadout, that set of configurative things, right? So if I keep track of that loadout, then on the drill cards, when I indicate, you know, how I ran that drill, or on my training log, I want to note what loadout I'm using. And by referencing that loadout, it makes it easy to compare, because there's certainly, with certain guns or certain holsters, I might run a certain drill faster or perform better than I would with a different loadout. And so by keeping track of what loadouts I'm using, what, you know, even down to what ammo I'm running, that could go a long way. Not only for me to kind of get some clarity on which configurations are better for me, but also being able to actually, you know, compare apples to apples and see improvement over time. This is a really well-designed system. I would encourage you to check this out. We've had a lot of success with it. I think it's well designed. I think it's very affordable given the value that you're going to get from this. You're going to go to the range with a plan. You're going to get a lot more out of every hour you spend training, and you're probably going to save some money on ammo because you're going to level up your skills much faster without as many shots down range. So check it out today. Order your live fire drill card handgun training logbook, and I'll try and come up with a shorter name for this in the meantime.